Hey guys, welcome to TNG Hoops, our second episode. I'm Thomas,
And I'm Gamaliel.
and today we have an amazing video for you. So please, if you want, we recommend it that you guys can subscribe and leave a like, and please enjoy this video and leave your comments below of what you guys think about what we're going to talk about today. So Gamaliel, why don't you start us off?
All right, so today's topic of today is James Harden. He's the main topic of today. So what we're gonna start on is, was Harden the issue in Houston? Thomas, any comments on that?
So, first things first, I believe that James Harden is an amazing player. I think that he has amazing attributes and he is a one of a kind talent that we haven't really seen in a very long time. Uh, but I do believe that he is an issue to Houston. I believe that because of him, the Houston has become a worse team overall, percentage wise, shooting wise, passing wise, because Harden brought so much to the table while he was in Houston. Through the 7 years he was there, he was the biggest facilitator. He was the biggest shooter. He was the really offense went through James Harden. And when you lose a captain and such a person like him, and he's one of a kind talent, Houston's never gonna have a talent like him anymore. So when you lose someone like him, it can become a detriment to the team, and it can become a worse team overall. And I also believe that he is a cancer to the locker room. You heard it from Boogie
Oh,
Cousins.
some big words
After
there.
oh yes you heard it from Boogie Cousins in an interview after James Harden left. You heard it even from John Wall. He was his leaving Houston was unappreciated through the teammates, through the organization, and even some of the fans. When he came back to Houston, he got a little bit of booze, and you can see
Oh,
why.
everyone gets booze. Come on now, man. Even
I
Kawhi
know,
got the
I know,
booze. But nah,
I
my
know.
point, my point is James Harden is obviously, like you said, he's a generational talent. But I feel like he wasn't the issue because remember in I think 2019 to 2020, or no, 2017 to 18 to 19, or like the year before,
Hmm.
they went to a game 7 against the Warriors. They could have won that game if not for Chris Paul's hamstring giving out. Um, they were really close every year, and if you see every year, James Harden's like up there in the MVP race, up there in the standings. He turned that franchise around. Let's be honest. And people say ISO ball, he's a ball hog, everything, but honestly,
Hmm.
I feel like it was the teams that were constructed around him that were the issue. So I would blame Daryl Morey, and most importantly, I would blame Mike D'Antoni for that 7 second offense. That stupid small ball stuff. It ruined that team, bro.
Well,
It ruined that team.
I honestly I can agree with you, but however, James Harden is the problem of the team because whatever James Harden wanted, the team did for them. So if James Harden wanted Chris Paul, the team got rid of all their future assets to get Chris Paul. James Harden
Chris
didn't do
Paul was
well
a
with
great
Chris
fit, bro.
Paul.
I don't know what you're talking
But,
about. Chris Paul,
well, I'm just
if
saying
he hadn't
that.
gone down with that injury,
Well, James Harden wanted Russell Westbrook. They gave him Russell Westbrook.
yeah,
James Harden
that
wanted
was a
Dwight
stupid
Howard.
decision.
They gave him Dwight Howard. James Harden, whatever James Harden wants, Houston gives him. And then now Houston has nothing. They have no future assets thanks to James Harden getting all these players. They have no reasons to build anymore. And they're not a really good destination for a lot of
Yeah,
players. So
I
they
guess
sort of
one
lost
thing we
all
could
those
blame,
things.
is the Super Team Warriors. Obviously, if as long as the
Hmm.
Warriors were there, Houston wouldn't make it.
They would never.
Yeah, if KD didn't join the Warriors, I think James Harden has a ring by now, most likely.
Well, maybe. I again, I don't know too much. And the thing is, if James Harden, God forbid, was out during some of the times, especially in Houston's playoff runs, Houston wouldn't be even a playoff contender Western Conference, even if you want to put it there. They wouldn't even get close to the Western Conference. He was literally half the team. So without him, they had literally no one,
See,
in my
that's my
opinion.
point. Who made him half the team? It was Mike D'Antoni. He decided to go with the ISO
Well,
ball, with a small ball. He decided to go with the stupid 7 second offense, bro. No defense. All they
mm,
did was take shots, like chuck up shots. If they miss,
yeah.
they miss and they lose. That was the issue, in my opinion.
Well, that's your opinion, and I can agree with that per se. But I feel like you cannot blame everything. Everyone always likes to use the coach as almost like an scapegoat for
Yeah,
certain
I
situations,
see where you're coming from.
and
But yeah,
it's not always the
you're
coach.
right, bro. You're right, bro. Like they were the reason. I think James Harden was the reason for the downfall of the franchise. If you know what I mean.
Yes,
They don't have
exactly.
assets now.
They have nothing. They have what are they gonna the future predictions? Does anyone really predict that the Houston Rockets are gonna win the championship in the next, let's say, 3 years? Let's give it 3 years. Does anyone think that the Houston Rockets are gonna win the
No,
championship in the no,
not
no
for the
one.
next five at least.
Not even
Uh,
5 years, yeah.
but
So
but we can all agree that he was very valuable to that team because the moment he walked out,
15
they dropped 12,
losses.
yeah, 15 straight losses, bro.
15 straight losses. Like holy, it really shows how much of an impact he had. His game has. Period. Doesn't matter on
Yeah,
what team he's on. He has
yeah,
such an impact on offensive, and really now his defense is coming into play. Now even a defensive and assist package alone. Oh my gosh,
yeah. All right,
his assists are
now this is the
insane.
next question. Does joining the Nets take away from his Hall of Fame career? Does it improve his cases or decrease his cases?
So this is a tough one because you can look at a lot of players that were in big three almost teams, and you can say, well, does it take away from their career? Like if you look at someone like a Dwayne Wade, not
LeBron
even
James,
Dwayne Wade,
bro. Come on,
but
LeBron
LeBron
James.
James, or even Chris Bosh, because Chris Bosh doesn't even get the respect he deserves.
Yeah,
Even now they're
people out here
comparing him
comparing him to
to
Julius Randle
Julius
now.
Randle,
Bro,
right?
I can't deal with that.
So that's what I'm saying. So you have to look at that now and say, well, is James Harden as good of a player as they think he is, right? Because think about it. When he was in OKC, he was sixth man. He wasn't really people when he was in OKC, people talked about Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook before James Harden.
Yeah,
Ask
facts.
anyone. Now, when
Yeah,
he was in Houston, he was the number one show. Now, when he's in Brooklyn, they really talk about Kevin Durant still, or maybe even Kyrie Irving with everything that was going on with him before James Harden. So there's that too. So do I believe
James
that?
Harden, in my opinion, James Harden's overhated.
Yeah,
He,
that's another thing. He
it's
is.
come to the point where people said he was overrated. It's come to the point where he's underrated now. If you see his game,
So to answer your question with a yes or no, I'm going to say that it depends. If they win the championship, I do not think. I do not think it will take away from his Hall of Fame career. If this thing becomes a big bust and they lose, let's just say 2 times, or they get to the finals 2 times out of 3 times, or 2 times, like they get to the finals twice and they lose both, it is a complete bust and it will destroy his career. It
I
all
mean,
depends on what he
either
does.
way, I wouldn't say it's a bust because
Well, I
if
agree.
KD was here and Kyrie's balling, but if KD and Kyrie carried the team and Harden just took a back seat, yeah, of course it takes away from his case as a Hall of Famer. Either way, he's gonna be first ballot Hall of Famer because of what he's been doing the past few seasons. But 100% sure, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing because James Harden has been carrying that Nets team. He turned the
Mhm.
Nets around and he took the reins of that team. He's the leader of that team right now while KD's out. And Kyrie's playing Robin to his Batman, obviously.
Yeah, well, looking at James Harden, how he's been playing, especially during the last couple games where he's doing these crazy assists, like insane. I don't know how his basketball IQ, and he's
Oh
like
yeah,
a floor
man.
general.
He's a highlight reel,
He can
bro.
see every, and he doesn't. And for his jump shot, he doesn't need a lot of space. He doesn't even need a lot of hops. He just keeps his feet down, fires that step back three, or goes in the
Effortless
lane,
player.
and gets the bucket like right
Effortless
away,
player.
effortless. So in that aspect, I agree with you. But however, if he does make it to the finals and he busts a couple times, fails, let's just say next 2 times, I do believe that personally you would look at him differently. That's all I'm saying. You would look at him differently, and when you think of his
Oh
Hall
yeah.
of Fame career, people think about him as the player that left Houston, went to Brooklyn, and failed
See
in the
that
finals twice.
I hate the NBA for that now. Like all NBA fans, that's all they talk about. Either you're MJ, LeBron, or Kobe, and you win a bunch of championships, or you're
Hmm.
completely trash. No, that's not how it works. There were like there were thousands of players over the years in the NBA, and not everyone wins a championship. That
Yeah.
like not winning a championship does not take away from their Hall of Fame career or take away from their greatness.
Allen Iverson was an amazing player. He
Yeah,
never won a chip, and he was still
exactly.
he's one of the top ever shooting guards. Period.
All right. This is the essence of the video. This is the main topic of the video. This is why we're making the video.
Hmm.
Who is the MVP this season? Harden, Embiid, or somebody else? What do you say?
So for me, even though we are just raving about James Harden and how amazing James Harden is, I have to give the MVP right now, as presently constructed, to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has been putting up these ridiculous numbers. Field goal percentage wise,
Oh
he's
yeah,
crazy. Shooting,
42% from three as a 7-foot center, bro.
that's exactly what I was gonna
Against
say. Like
against Utah, you saw that three? to
Oh
force
my
overtime.
God.
Jeez.
It was like, and I blinked for a second. I'm like, am I watching Damian Lillard, Steph Curry in the fourth, or am I
Bro.
watching Joel Embiid right here? Like,
Yeah.
it is unbelievable. And he manages to get to the line a ridiculous amount of times during the game. He manages, if they need a point or basket, they give it to him, he's going to get them a basket. He'll do something or he'll facilitate. And
And
he
that's
can shoot a
crazy. It's
jumper.
crazy to say about a 7 footer right now.
I
If you
can't
need a
believe
basket
it.
down the stretch.
And I give credit where credit is due. I believe that we have to give credit to Doc Rivers, because what
Yes,
Doc
yes,
Rivers did
yes.
is
He changed
he
that team around.
channeled
He turned the
he
team around.
channeled Joel. Because 2 years ago, if we remember, even as a Raptors fans, Joel Embiid was not as good as this,
Gasol
nowhere near
sunned him,
this.
bro. Mark Gasol sunned
Oh
him.
my God, he was horrible before. And when he came back to Toronto the year after that, he scored zero. When he went in the finals, he went cold. He couldn't even defend Kawhi's final buzzer beater. He and then now he is playing defense at an all-time high, I believe. He's
He's
shooting.
developed his defense.
He's shooting at a ridiculous number now, as you were just mentioning, 42% from three.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, and he is really his team to the top of the East and possibly the NBA Finals.
See,
From
my
what I'm
big point
seeing right
here,
now,
I completely disagree with you. Yeah, Joel Embiid's great. It's neck and neck in my opinion.
it is.
A
It
bunch
is.
of people rated James Harden eighth in the MVP voting. I think that's complete trash, bro. That people don't know
Mhm,
what they're talking about. James
mhm.
Harden's either a really close second, but in my opinion, right now he's first, because
Wow.
you can talk about the Sixers' record and how they've been playing, but the Sixers have been healthy the whole year. Ben Simmons is playing DPOY level defense. Doc Rivers, they have all the pieces. The Nets are a broken team right now. They don't. Bruce Brown, like, he's a G League player, bro. Why is he starting on the Nets? Just tell me that. DeAndre Jordan, old self, is playing for them right now, and James Harden's making DeAndre Jordan a better player. He wasn't this good last year, and without KD, obviously they're an incomplete team right now. But let me pull up my stats: 25 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. 8 rebounds as a shooting guard, first of all, is pretty good. But forget the rebounding numbers, because Joel Embiid obviously overpowers in rebounding numbers. Uh,
Yeah, he's
James
pretty.
Harden, people say he needs to score ISO ball. That's James Harden, right? He's proving that wrong. He's proving everybody wrong right now. He's only averaging
Yeah.
25, and he scores when they need to in the clutch time. When they need a bucket, James Harden's the guy who goes and gets it. But assist numbers, bro, 11 assists, and not 11 like petty assists, or 11 like you know what I mean, like the assists are actually valuable. Like when they need a bucket, he's giving them assists.
I agree.
He threw a field goal, like a touchdown pass to Jeff Green the other day for the game winner against the Clippers. James Harden has been balling, bro. So my first point of course is leading assists. So you can get out of here with that ball hog narrative, all that stereotype. Get out of here with that, bro. Um, we mentioned James Harden. I mean, Joel Embiid with 42 from three. James Harden's pretty close, 40% from three. His field goal percentage is pretty good. He was an inefficient player, like, chronically, right?
Mhm.
Almost 50% from the field this year. And if you're gonna argue with me saying that Nets are a super team and James Harden's getting carried, no. Durant sat out like over half the season, and James Harden hopped in like a few games in because he was on the Rockets in the beginning, right? The moment he hopped in, like when he came in, I think the Nets were like sixth seed.
Yeah.
Now they're second. They're only half a game behind. They need to win one more game in their first seed, bro. Come on.
I I understand everything you're coming from, but let me read you some numbers here, Gamelio. 40 points the last game versus the Jazz. Joel Embiid
19
scored
rebounds.
19 rebounds. He scored 24 points against the Pacers. He scored 42 against the Cavaliers. He
50
scored
against the Bulls.
23, 50 against the Bulls, 23 against the Mavericks. February 17th versus the Rockets, he scored 31. So even the Suns, he scored 35. And the best is, I'm looking at his he's making a three every game. Joel Embiid is making a three-pointer every game, and his rebounding is unbelievable. He is double digits in rebounding every single game except versus the Mavericks, the last 7, 8 games. And his blocks, he averages 1 block a game, 1.4 blocks a game. He averages about 3 assists a game. For a big man, I think that's pretty good. His field goal percentage is 51%. His three-point percentage is 42%. He's doing really, really well. In my opinion, I think that he is, for where the position that he's in now, and the way that he is controlling the game, I think that he's playing at a ridiculous level.
If you're arguing
And
efficiency wise, I would say they're both
Mhm.
equal because James Harden's just one step behind him. He's 40, like about 41%
But
from three.
that's the key. He is one step behind him, and when you look at the MVP
A
race and
couple
how
of
the
a couple of
NBA,
a couple of good games and James Harden's right back in it, bro. But my
okay, well,
point
let's
is,
see then.
you're
But right
talking you're
now,
talking about Embiid 3 assists, right? If you look at the ratios, James Harden's averaging 8 rebounds as a guard, as a shooting guard, actually point guard right now. He's playing point guard, and 11 assists, and he's dropping triple doubles everywhere. Every place he goes, he like a triple double is common now for James. I think he's second in Nets all-time triple doubles right now, with like what 19 games under his belt. And yeah, I guess you could argue Embiid is an MVP, but right now it's James Harden, and I'm gonna
yeah,
get flamed for this, but let's be real. James Harden has been better than Kevin Durant and LeBron James this season. I don't care what you're saying, just based off of this season's performances and team records.
that
LeBron is worse than James Harden this year.
that honestly, I can see where you're coming from, especially because of the fact that Kevin Durant's been injured all this time, and LeBron James has really not been playing at a level that we believe that he could play at. But I still believe that when you look at James Harden versus Joel Embiid, if you're looking at the little things and you had to pick an MVP right now as we are talking, I believe it will still be Joel Embiid due to the ridiculous numbers he's putting up and the fact that even though you're right, James Harden is just a step down from Joel Embiid when it comes to efficiency ratings and everything that we were talking about. He's still, when you look at the MVP race, you're looking at it present time right now, and I still believe that it has to be Joel Embiid due to that fact. So even though he's a bit down compared to James Harden right now, he is still James Harden's a bit down compared to Joel Embiid right now. They're still very neck and neck, and you can go either way. It's a toss up. I believe those two guys are like
Also,
the
my,
top
my
three,
the,
but
the thing that switched me over to James Harden, because I love Embiid. I love Embiid's game.
Mhm.
I had him as my MVP before, but now why James Harden's my MVP is, if you look at the Sixers, it's not Embiid only. Ben Simmons is playing like a defensive player of the year. Stephen A mentioned it a couple days ago. He's playing like a defensive player of the year. Tobias Harris is out of his slump. In that overtime game, I think he was the one who won the game for them, right? Like he scored a bunch, like a couple threes, I think. I'm not sure. And they have Doc Rivers. That's the biggest thing for me. Who is the Nets coach? It's a rookie, Steve Nash. James Harden's basically running all the plays because I don't think Steve Nash is gonna carry them as a coach. It's got to be Doc. Like Doc Rivers has changed the team around because Embiid sucked when Brett Brown was the coach, right? Like the last couple of years until they changed their coaching staff, Embiid sucked. So I give credit where credit is due. Obviously, Embiid has been balling out, but I also give credit to Doc Rivers for coaching. And the only help James Harden has is Kyrie, bro. Who else is on their team? Like I said that like 3 times already. Who else do they have other than Kyrie right now? I don't see any of them really. They lost Karis LeVert. Spencer Dinwiddie's injured. I think TLC, is he playing for them? I'm not sure. I haven't watched
well,
any of
Brown's
his games.
playing really nicely for them. I think. I don't know. It
But
just-
he's not a starter. He's not
no,
an
I
NBA
know,
starter.
I know, I know.
He's-
I get where you're coming from, but you have to understand.
DeAndre Jordan's been he sucks, bro. Defensively, he's not that good.
I know,
Offensively, he's there just to
but
catch lobs. Like James Harden has been making everybody around him better.
I agree, but listen, you're talking about just Steve Nash's. First of all, I think Steve Nash is underrated as a coach. I feel like he if you want someone to coach your team, you want someone that can assist and control the ball like Steve Nash. First of all, second of all, he also has Mike D'Antoni, his old 7-second offense coach,
Yeah,
as an assistant coach,
bro.
which you could say is a detriment to the team. But I believe that right now, maybe the offensive mind of Mike D'Antoni might help James Harden. Who knows, right? And the final thing I have to add is that they have enough. I think they're all veterans. You have to understand that Joel Embiid's a veteran too. But James Harden, DeAndre Jordan, they all sort of understand the game. Kyrie Irving, they all understand the game, so they're able to. They don't need to get coached as much as someone like Joel Embiid, who Joel Embiid's only been in the league for I think 6 years now. Well,
And Ben
James
Simmons
Harden.
is young.
And Ben Simmons is young, and everyone, you know what I mean? Well, James Harden and Kyrie Irving and
They
Kevin
know how to run
Durant
their teams.
and even hell, DeAndre Jordan back when he was playing in the Clippers way back,
Lob City, bro.
right? Lob City, they know what they're doing. right? So they don't need as much coaching in that
Yeah,
perspective.
I see where you're coming from.
You get where
I
I'm
sort
coming
of have
from?
to agree with you for that one.
Yeah.
But
So
I stand with my final case. James Harden's my MVP. And my final point to add to this is you can argue that James Harden's defense is trash, but bro, he changed the narrative. He's not a star defender. He's not a really good he's not a great defender, but you can no way say he's a bad defender. He's above average.
mhm.
He's an above average defender right now.
Well, I can agree with that. I can agree with the fact that he's an above average defender. I can't agree with the fact that James Harden's MVP. I still believe it is Joel Embiid. But again, you're right. This is neck and neck. And if we were to make a video, in the, I don't know, in the near future or whatever, our opinions might be changed. You
Yeah,
never know,
yeah,
because with the NBA, things are flipping and
yeah.
flopping
The
so
league is
easily.
crazy, bro.
It's
Utah
crazy.
Jazz number
So
one. Come on now.
man, that's crazy. So yeah. So you never
Yeah,
know. But
great argument, bro.
right now, I
Great
believe that
talk.
it is Joel Embiid that's the MVP, and
And
you
I
get
stand by my decision with Harden. It was a
and I
great
stand
talk,
my
bro.
decision with Joel
It
Embiid.
was a good
Yeah,
it was a good argument.
really good.
And yeah, this is a really good topic. It was a great topic we talked about.
Exactly.
We'll see
So
soon. We'll see soon who's the MVP. The season's still
we
running.
will. So leave your comments down below if you
Yeah,
guys
guys.
want
Let us
to.
know. Let us know who you think's the MVP. Is it James Harden? Is it Joel Embiid? Or is
Embiid
it somebody else like a
or is it someone
LeBron?
else?
Or
Yeah,
yeah. And guys, just let us know what your thoughts on this video is. Give us some new topics. If you want to see something done, just drop it in the comment section down below, and we'll see if we can do it. Give us good feedback. Just let us know if anything you want us to change, and we'll try our best to satisfy you guys. And
exactly.
I'm gonna end with this, like I always do. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. I'm not gonna control you. It's your choice. If you love the content, drop a like and a comment. And if you want to see more content like this, drop a sub. And be
For
prepared for
sure.
vlogs. And we're gonna do 1v1s and film some NBA games. Within our friend group. Over the summer, we're gonna have some really exciting content. And
Mhm.
peace out, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good one.